including this dry situation and the fires that we're starting to see across the state. You know, we've been reporting on WBRC Fox 6 News several of these fires, several of those contained, but check out this view coming in right now. This is a look at where we're dealing with those fires across the state, and I just want to show you, this is just in from, this is in the Asheville area. This is from Josh Putman. Huge fire about 1 mile north of Asheville exit on I-59. Josh took this with a drone from the Highway 231 area near the interstate, but you can see a large smoke plume, and for a lot of areas out there, if you notice, it's kind of like, well, smells like something's burning somewhere. We've seen a lot of these grass fires started. Be extra cautious, extra careful, avoid burning. It's typically the fire season, October. I've said this over and over about this being our driest month on average, and at this point, we don't see any major relief from the dry weather coming anytime soon. But again, that map I was showing you, this is from our First Alert AccuTrack system. All those little red areas, that's where the fires are being reported on the map across the state of Alabama. See, there's one there reported Talladega County. That's the one that I just showed you right there around Asheville, and then also around Greensboro. Most of these contained, but again, it wouldn't take long for fire to get out of hand in a hurry out there. So be extra cautious as the humidity levels remain very low. Just enjoyed a beautiful sunset view here around Brookwood Baptist Medical Center. It feels incredible. I know it's dry, but it's hard to beat this weather with the comfort levels and the dry conditions. I've been working through that list, getting some things done around the house, and some great work around the house kind of weather for us here. I know it's been a little bit breezy. I think that wind, that's another factor here to really dried things out over the past couple of days. That wind's kind of like a hair dryer on everything, right? Temperature wise, in the 73 range in Pell City, 76 here in Anniston, and 80 degrees right now for us here around Utah. And tomorrow, a pretty good chance we'll top out close to 80. Here's a look at that hourly forecast for this evening, showing 70s and 60s. Very comfortable night there. Not too cold if you're going to get a walk in later on tonight. Winds out of the north. It looks like overnight lows tonight, though by tomorrow morning it will be a little bit chilly again to start the day early on. We're talking lows right around 50, maybe some 40s in areas to the north and east. But we want to head over to meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Lauren, now we have tropical depression number 12 and could have another system soon in the Caribbean.
Yeah, Wes, I know certainly some people have storm fatigue in the wake of Fiona and Ian, which certainly brought some damage and catastrophic damage from Puerto Rico up towards Florida, even into the Carolinas. But we do have two new areas that we're watching. The most recent depression that you were mentioning is Tropical Depression 12. This formed west of Senegal, which is the westernmost country in West Africa, and it's now to the west of the Cape Verde Islands. So as we look at this track here, it is going to be moving to the northwest. It is going to be battling some wind shear, some drier air, so probably won't organize and be a full-fledged system. We'll keep an eye on it, but it is staying well out into the eastern Atlantic and is likely going to be what we call a fish storm, because likely it would only be bothering the fish. And I'm sure folks in the Cape Verde Islands are glad to see that moving away as well. If this were to get a name, or another system were to get a name, the next name on the list would be Julia. So here's the other system we're watching, and this is a little bit closer to home. This is near South America and is making its way westward towards the Lesser Antilles. Over the next 48 hours, a medium chance of development. And then as we get into the next 5 days and it eventually moves into the Caribbean, it does have a higher chance of development to potentially become a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Of course, with that fatigue from Ian and Fiona, a lot of folks wondering, well, where is this going to go? Well, we've got our latest spaghetti models coming in here, and right now there seems to be a general consensus that these are going to be moving through the southern Caribbean and making their way generally westward. Of course, we would love for these to pass away from Puerto Rico, which is still in recovery mode in the wake of Fiona, but right now the general consensus is it just goes due westward and eventually ends up closer to Central America. We're talking Honduras, Nicaragua, within the next week or so. Now, you do notice some try to inch it a little closer towards the Gulf. You have this one outlier here that takes it up through the Dominican Republic, but I think overall the general trend does seem to be that it would be steered westward and wouldn't be an issue. But we'll go ahead and look at some of our tropical models here to give you an idea. So here's our American model, again showing that it moves into the Caribbean, and then here we go, Monday, October 10th, showing it in the Caribbean, potentially becoming a tropical storm, and then maybe maybe making its way westward towards Nicaragua and Honduras. And then here's our European model as well. Doesn't show it looking quite as organized, but maybe becoming a tropical storm that makes a brush with that same area in Central America, and then maybe even moving back out into the eastern Pacific. Bottom line, all of this looks to stay south of the mainland U.S. The big question mark would be for our neighbors down in Puerto Rico if they would be seeing any issues. But as of right now, no major cause for concern here in the mainland U.S. Instead, Wes, we're still just going to be tracking those dry conditions that we're wondering if there's going to be anything in the way of moisture. It doesn't look like we're going to get it from a tropical system, so maybe we could get another front to come through. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to be watching that system over the next couple of days to see what happens there. For folks that are traveling down towards the Cozumel area and Cancun, certainly keep an eye. I know a lot of folks take that cruise out of New Orleans to those areas. Watch out for some impacts. Shrimp Festival, we're looking good right now down along the Gulf Coast for this weekend. But we're just getting started. Coming up on First Alert Weather Extra, we got the full 7-day, of course, so we go beyond the 7-day as we count down towards the holidays. Lauren, did you notice there were Christmas trees out the other day? I saw it at the store.
I can't even go.
I haven't even put out a pumpkin yet.
No,
I mean, come
me
on. Yeah, we're gonna get you set here though for what's on the way for later on in the week. The latest on Ian as we continue right here. You are watching First Alert Weather Extra.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
And being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With First Alert Weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time. These are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your First Alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert weather team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood with 6 on Your Side investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert Weather Team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
Weather Extra, I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We have been talking about the tropics. We have a new tropical depression that has formed, but what does the tropical activity normally look like in October? We check in with meteorologist Matt Daniel to break it all down for us.
Let's talk about the tropics once again. We are in the beginning of October, and so this is where we're at so far on the 2022 Atlantic hurricane list. Of course, we just finished with Ian, and our next named storms is going to be Julia and Carl. And just to give you an idea, we've already had 9 named storms. 4 of those were hurricanes, and we've had 2 major hurricanes, Fiona and, of course, Ian. So let's talk about where we would stand based off climatology. Normally, we would see our 9th named storm in the middle of September, and by October 1st, we would see 11 named storms. So we're a little bit behind on that, but pretty close to average, so to speak. And then as we take a look at the hurricane climatology, when we normally see hurricanes form with winds of 74 miles per hour or greater, notice right around September 28th, we would typically see 5 hurricanes, and by the middle of October 6th, on average, we would typically see 7 hurricanes per season. So we're pretty close to that going into October. So here's a look at that activity by month. Of course, we've now passed the peak of the hurricane season, which is right around the middle of September, and it can still get pretty active between now and the middle and end of October, but it really slows down as we go into November, and then by December 1st, that's when the hurricane season officially ends. So where will we typically see tropical systems develop in the Atlantic in the month of October? Well, typically we're going to start seeing a lot of cold fronts moving through, keeping us dry. And those cold fronts act as a barrier to prevent these tropical systems from impacting the United States. So the areas that are pretty vulnerable for tropical activity is going to be around Cuba, towards Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and maybe even parts of the East Coast. But the chances of those tropical systems forming maybe in the northwestern Gulf a little less likely. But usually the Caribbean and the Gulf is areas to watch, along with areas out towards Bermuda. Sometimes you get those cold fronts form and those systems sort of move parallel across the East Coast. So those are the areas to watch. And of course, we continue to watch in the eastern Atlantic. We still have tropical waves moving off the coast of Africa. So that's another area of concern as well. But for now, if you want your tropical information, if we get another storm out there, you can just download the WBRC First Alert weather app. You can track it. Just go to the radar section, make sure you turn on the hurricane information, and you can track those storms right through the app. But we're just 2 months away until the hurricane season's over with, and it would be nice if it stays quiet, but we know there's still stuff that could form over the next 2 months.
Thanks for that, Matt. And we always say even if it ends up being a quiet season, it only takes one storm to cause damage. And we certainly saw that with Fiona and Ian. In Florida alone, 104 people have been killed from Ian, and 55 of those were in Lee County. So search and rescue efforts are still ongoing. We check in with CNN's Gloria Pazmino for an update from Fort Myers.
Let's talk about the tropics once again. We are in the beginning of October.
And it looks like we're having some technical difficulties, but we'll get that story to you right away after the break. Coming up next, first we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt for an update on that next cold front that's coming. And if we'll get any rain with it, meteorologist Jill Gilardi gives us a peek beyond the 7-day. First Alert Weather Extra. We'll be right back.
Remodeling a shower or bath can be tricky with gas prices up and tight monthly budgets. Cost is a real concern, but West Shore Home is helping homeowners get the shower bath they need right now. I'm joined by Kirsten from West Shore Home. And Kirsten, tell us, how is West Shore making bath remodeling affordable?
So Joe, for folks who want to get their bath or shower project done right now, we have a very special offer. We know that monthly budgets are a little bit tight right now, which is why we wanted to make this offer available to everyone. If they give us a call, we have 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means they can get their shower or bath done now and not have to make a payment for 18 full months.
So you're saying people can get their new shower bath installed right now and not have to worry about making any payments or paying any interest until 2024. That's really helpful.
Definitely. People love this plan because it allows them to be flexible with their finances.
Can we see some projects you've done recently?
Absolutely. So here's one where the homeowner wanted to replace their old fiberglass shower with something more new and modern. So we replaced it with a beautiful marble style shower with an easy low step entry and a beautiful shower door.
That is amazing. Perfect combination of safety and beauty.
It definitely is. So let's take a look at another one. These homeowners were struggling with mold and mildew from their old tile. They were tired of scrubbing. We were able to give them this beautiful new shower that is so much easier to clean. You can get a new shower or bath just like this when you call right now, and you won't have any interest or payments until 2024.
Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, do not put off that shower or bath project any longer. West Shore Home is making it affordable to take care of that bath project right now. West Shore Home is extending this offer for 1 week only. Free installation on all shower and bath projects. And for a limited time, they're doing 18 months of flexible financing. That's no payments and no interest until early 2024. This is an offer you don't want to miss. Call the shower and bath experts at West Shore Home now.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra, and that 7-day forecast. Lots of dry weather as we look ahead. Here we have the temperatures in the 80s. We have the first alert for cooler temperatures this weekend. One of the next big things we're tracking is a cold front that's going to move in for the weekend. The overnight temperatures are still going to show up in the 40s for a lot of areas, especially to the north and east. But the one change by Friday, the afternoon's a little bit warmer for us. Here's a look at some of the forecast model data, and I know we haven't talked a lot about the chance for wet weather there as we look ahead. Looks like over the next 24 hours that the bottom line on those temperatures there for our Wednesday, starting out, I mentioned low 50s, some 40s there for some areas, and then the afternoon temperatures in the 80s. Let's try that again, see if we can bring in some of those. There we go, some of the model data here for tomorrow. And one thing today, there's a little bit of moisture streaming in across Central America from the Pacific. It's brought a few clouds in. Tomorrow, could see some more of those clouds kind of streaming in from the southwest. I still think plenty of sunshine makes it through. This model in particular, I think this is coming from the IBM guidance, is showing a 44 there in Gadsden. I don't know if it'll be quite that cold, but you'll certainly want the long sleeves early in the day. 48 here around Jasper, 53 in Tuscaloosa. As we work into that afternoon, you can see around lunchtime, 70s for us. Another beautiful day, perfect day for lunch outside, out at the park tomorrow. Sunshine. We'll make it through the clouds, just kind of like today. A few of those fair weather clouds drifting through. Wind still out of the north. That north flow continues. Very dry, 5 o'clock. Perfect weather for tomorrow evening. And you'll notice Thursday, not much change. Wind a little bit warmer there, around 83 for an afternoon high temperature there, but no rain expected there. Very pleasant conditions this weekend. I mentioned Saturday, that drop in temperature. So here's what we're tracking. That front that's going to move in. It's the next big thing. And as that rolls in, I think Friday afternoon, could be a couple areas like Tuscaloosa, we get close to 85. And then watch this cooler air. I was noticing some of our fellow stations in states north of here have been seeing a lot of the social media updates about freezing temperatures possible. As for us, not freezing just yet. And I don't think we really have to worry about any frost for this weekend. Typically, our first frost is more towards the end of the month. But right now, I just don't see temperatures cold enough for a frost threat at this point, but it's going to be chilly. Certainly by Sunday morning, some of the coolest air. I know we have some 40s here on the 7-day forecast, but the 40s for Sunday morning, more widespread, and we can see even some low 40s in areas to the north. Monday and Tuesday and next week, still looking dry. Went with 83 there on Tuesday, but I know meteorologists Jill Gilardi and Lauren Linehan, you guys were in the weather office earlier, and I overheard, I think, Jill, you might have mentioned there's some of that new long-range data coming in. You might have saw maybe a little bit of rain possible?
Yeah, the ensemble models definitely gave us a little hope. But, if you look at just the daily run, sometimes it's here and there. But ensemble data for later next week, possibly some rain. We'll keep our fingers crossed. As we know, it's a ways away, but always good to see a little bit, a glimmer of hope. But right now, in terms of the Climate Prediction Center, they're going with the 8 to 14 day outlook for below average precipitation across the southeast. That does include Alabama. As we take a look at the potential for rainfall in the future, again, as Lauren was talking about, if we get that tropical system likely to impact Central America, as we go back to the United States and the southeast, I'm just not seeing a very strong indicator that we'll get some rain here, but there's always a chance. We'll be watching these systems very closely to see if we get any hope for some rain in here. Again, we need some of that tropical moisture to get up here, just not in the form of a tropical storm or hurricane. So we will hope for that pattern change, but for right now, doesn't look very promising at this point in time. And we're kind of in that zone for equal chances of below average to average temperatures. And in terms of overnight lows, you can see we have ups and downs. We have some downs and then we go back up. And then, so this is a trend. You kind of see this in the springtime and the fall. We will see the wavering temperatures. We'll get some cool fronts in here. We just need the fronts to tap into some moisture so we can get some rain. Now, as we know, going into fall, we do have a secondary severe weather season, so that will be something to keep in mind. If we heat up and we get a lot of moisture, we'll have to watch out for storms. But as of right now, Wes, we don't have to worry about that just yet, but certainly we need to be mindful of not doing any outdoor burning because those fires, they keep happening daily.
Yes, it's going to stay very dry through this weekend. Lovely views out there, though, and comfortable temperatures right now. 77 here in Tuscaloosa, 75 for us right now in Birmingham, 64 showing up in Jasper already. But a lot of areas out there tonight. Another cool start as this dry weather hangs on through the overnight and into tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the events happening in our weather coming up. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan joins us again after the break.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
Being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m., WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else on your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10, on your side.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
How will the weather impact your roads? The First Alert Weather app has live traffic updates and road conditions for a safer commute. This is why we First Alert.
WBRC Fox 6 News, on your side.
Welcome back to Weather Extra. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. We're bringing you a story earlier that we had mentioned, and it's an update on Hurricane Ian. 104 people have died thus far from the storm in Florida, and now just in Lee County alone, the death toll is up to 55 people. We check in with CNN's Gloria Pazmino from Fort Myers for an update.
If you go any farther, you're waist deep, neck deep in water.
Looking for any signs of life, crews in Florida are going door to door, searching for survivors in communities wiped out by Hurricane Ian. Officials in hard-hit Lee County say additional state and federal assistance is pouring in.
We took such a catastrophic hit, but everybody wants to help.
Search and rescue teams say they're finding morbid scenes. The death toll rising to over 100 in Florida.
And those numbers could go up. I pray to God again that they don't. But until we go through the rubble, until we see exactly what we have, we're not certain who's missing and what those numbers will be.
Several island communities are still hard to reach. Priority is given to rescue teams looking for victims. Officials say homes in some decimated neighborhoods are unlivable, and destroyed bridges have cut off aid.
All those people are without, a lot of them lived on the boats. They have no home now.
Some people still don't know the whereabouts of their loved ones. Officials say it's unclear how many are still missing. And it could take several weeks to restore power to the hundreds of thousands of people still in the dark.
There were some places that were just devastated, and you're right, they will take probably a month or longer to restore in those areas.
In Fort Myers Beach, Florida, I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
And we certainly still have our thoughts and prayers with those in Florida and anyone who's been impacted by hurricane, not just Ian, but also Fiona. Now we check in with Mickey Ferguson before we wrap up this evening for a countdown to the holidays and lots of events going on this October.
Hey, let's take a look at your seasonal calendar for today. We've already got several check marks. We already knocked off summer, wet and dry and stormy, false fall, second summer. Fall finally arrives and very, very dry. That's exactly where we are right now. We still see constant yard work, a first freeze on our way, false winter, second tornado season. That's usually in November to early December. Then winter starts. So that's our seasonal calendar. Let's check out the countdown to the holidays. 26 days away. It gets really spooky around here for October the 31st. My favorite holiday, Thanksgiving, because you get to be thankful, you get together with family, you get to eat food, you don't have to worry about buying people presents, you get to watch ball games. It's just a good old time. It's my favorite. I love it. And then we have 81 days until Christmas. And look at Santa Claus. He's up with the latest dance moves. He's doing the floss. That's pretty good, Santa. Average high temperatures as we get into the next few months in October, it's 76 degrees, and that's been pretty close to what we've been seeing, a little bit warmer than that. But as we get into December and November, your temperatures really drop off. Now, overnight lows do the same. We've been in the mid-50s to 40s here lately, but we get into next month, we're in the 40s. In December, 38 degrees, and we'll still have, January and February to go. What should we wear, though, for tomorrow? Well, a lot of us start out in the 40s to low 50s at about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's going to be a little bit cooler than that, let's say about 4, 5, 6 a.m. But then at noontime tomorrow, we warm up all the way to 76 degrees. So if you're taking a jacket tomorrow morning, you can get away with a short sleeve shirt tomorrow afternoon. And about 81 degrees, low humidity as we get into Wednesday afternoon. Let's take a look at Thursday. That's where we have the Barber Vintage Festival. That's Thursday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham. Sunshine expected all throughout the day. At noontime, about 80 degrees, about 5 p.m., 79 degrees. And then in Coleman, they just got through with Oktoberfest. Things are cranking in Coleman because they have the State Fair coming to town, the Coleman Fairgrounds. 80 degrees there at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. down into the 60s. And by 10 p.m. about 64 degrees. Now, if you're headed to the National Shrimp Festival, it begins on Thursday. They usually call that Locals Day, but there's like a couple of 100,000 people coming down to that thing. At 10 a.m. on Thursday, we're talking mid-70s, and it only warms up into the upper 70s. Looks like it's going to be cooler at the beaches than it is here at home. But if you're going to the beaches, if you're going to the Shrimp Festival, if you're going to the fair, if you're going to the mountains, it's all at your fingertips. You get the weather on the go on our First Alert weather app and snap a picture, and we can feature it right here on Weather Extra. Ding!
Cheers. Mickey should be glad I cut down that video as much as I did. Otherwise, he may be very embarrassed this evening. So we'll save the blooper reel for another day on Weather Extra. But for tonight, we're giving you that 7-day forecast. We've got another reinforcing shot of dry air that's going to be coming in over the next 24 hours. That should put it down more of us into the 40s on Thursday. It's not going to be that big of a deal, though. High temperature still in the low mid 80s. And then as we get to the weekend, first alert for another cold front coming through. And that'll put highs in the 70s. Great football, chilly weather, pumpkin patch weather. October's just the best month, isn't it? And then as we get into next week, we should see a little bit of a warm up, but still not much in the way of rain. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt will update you on any meager rain chance we see in the distant future. Coming up tonight on First at 9, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Tuesday evening.